It's the idea sandwich method, where you pitch a safe, perhaps a wild, and then something that's kind of the mix of both.
Does that also mean that the bread on the right is a raw meat bread sandwich? Is that what that means?
Correct.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure.
Conceptualization. I figured, be a fun thing to go through, considering it is the most important part of your process. So the concept is the groundwork for the rest of the project, how you make future design decisions down the line, etc. So it's not quite the message, as I'm sure all the CDs already know. Message is the idea the client wants to get across to their audience, and what they want to spell. So forgive me, I'm getting over migraine. So, and also I can't spell. So there's just, this is going to be rife with spelling errors. So that was a message, whereas a concept is an idea that frames the client's message in a purposeful, appropriate, and memorable way through form and content. So obviously a long design process is a good design process. I would say 10 times out of 10. But unfortunately, where we work, how our process goes, timelines don't always allow for this. So hopefully through these tips and tricks and etc., like we can start the process to speed that up, maybe get some groundwork. So an ideal concept: 1, provides solutions to design problems. 2, communicates a message of multiple levels. And 3, most importantly, to the ADs and CDs, stands out in a sea of videos by being unique. I won't go through all of these, but there are always some really good questions to kind of ask yourself before diving into a concept. The basics being like, who's the client, what do they do, what's their problem, what always like ask in the calls, like what videos are they interested in, what are they trying to advertise. But also I think it's important to ask yourself what's kind of important to you moving forward. What's the budget, the timeline, what can you accomplish in this timeline and budget, etc. So the client is the first person that matters, obviously, but there's always room for personal goals. I think when you're getting started, even if you kind of get, data cloud merging company or whatever, to always like kind of set a personal goal for yourself, instead of just kind of signing it in. I try to always like write down a list of goals, whether that's a clever way to transition, creating a unique, relatable character, employing a color key, color blocking before animation, or maybe trying a new rhetorical device. I know Molnar kind of had once upon a time a lesson on mind maps, and I think this can be really helpful to some people. This was a mind map that I made during the lesson that I took. It's actually a link that you can go to. It's free. It's actually quite nice because, let's see, I can kind of show you how it works. Sure, you can sell no, you can't sell my information. Oh man. anyways, it's super super easy. You can kind of like just type things and it branches out. This can help really hone in kind of the actual message you're talking about. So in this case, the company was a company called Candy Cart. They like deliver candy. So I went through what was easiest, and then from there it was kind of like helped just pull out concrete details moving forward into the concepting. So the bulk of this is about rhetorical devices. So what is a rhetorical device? It's a technique that an artist can use to convey meaning to the audience by considering a topic from a different perspective. I think we employ these a whole lot. Mostly, I think we rely on, allegory and metaphor. But I kind of wanted to go through some. So this one actually reminded me of Chase's beats that you posted with Einstein and all this famous people. That rhetorical device, it's called an illusion. So an illusion is a brief reference to a well-known person or piece of culture. It is a reference the viewer is already well aware of. I've got a couple of videos that I kind of wanted to share. I don't know if you probably can't hear the audio. Can you? Well, you should listen to them because they're all great, but you can see that this video like keeps the viewer watching by using a lot of pieces of artwork that the viewer already knows. Obviously, you can see she like inserts herself in the art, therefore like kind of making it even more creative and attention grabbing. And kind of keep going through. Yeah. So it's a pretty interesting way to like frame a topic. This is just a music video. I say just a music video. It's in the way, this is not an explainer video, but it's a really cool video to watch, inspiring, creative. I think it uses a lot of fun pieces of artwork. All right, so that's illusion. How's this? Another one is irony. This is one of my favorites. I don't get to use it enough, I don't think, but irony is used to indirectly call attention to a point that is different from what one is saying, often used as a tool of humor in order to deprecate or ridicule an idea. I don't know if you guys followed Super Deluxe when it was an actual company, but you don't need sound for this. So it's ironic in the way of, you think, she's gardening, this like beautiful flower is about to pop up, and then it kind of does pop up, and it's just like your feelings are meaningless. Just kind of a funny way to go about that topic. Personification. We do use this, I think, a good amount, but giving an animal or an inanimate object human characteristics such as form, character, feelings, or behavior. This is another really great video.
Oh, there you go. Another steaming pile of bullshit. Let's see. Sand, yeah, soil. That's good. Yeah, I've been good. I shouldn't, but I've earned it. Oh, that is fresh. Oh, hello there. I'm an organic seed. About to eat some manure. Ha!
I love that video. I love the fact that like it not only like personified the seed, but everything that he ate. I mean, it was just like the whole thing was just well done from the point of the seed. Loved it. Hyperbole is another one, and that's obvious and intentional exaggeration used to emphasize your point in a funny and interesting way. This is my favorite hyperbole. Actually, I have this up already. I don't know if you've seen Kung Fu Panda. Yeah, good. So I want to watch all of this, so we're going to share it. I just think it's such an incredible little hyperbole.
Tales of a legendary
Can you hear?
warrior whose kung fu skills were the stuff of legend. He traveled the land in search of worthy foes. I see you like to chew. Maybe you should chew on my fist! The warrior said nothing, for his mouth was full. Then he swallowed. And then he spoke. Enough talk. Let's fight. Shut-a-booey! He was so deadly, in fact, that his enemies would go blind from overexposure to pure awesomeness. He's too awesome!
And attractive.
How can we repay you? There is no charge for awesomeness or attractiveness. It mattered not how many foes he faced. They were no match for his bodacity. Never before had a panda been so feared and so loved. Even the most heroic heroes in all of China, the Furious Five, bowed in respect to this great master. We should hang out. Agreed. But hanging out would have to wait, because when you're facing the 10,000 demons of Demon Mountain, there's only one thing that matters, and that's...
So, get up. You'll be late for work.
What?
Did it work? No, I gotta switch between tabs. Obviously hyperbole in the fact, you know, his enemies would go blind from awesomeness. You can already get set up in the fact that, you know, he's not yet awesome. And then lastly, I mean, I think this is probably the most common video, metaphor and analogy. So comparing two similar things in order to explain an otherwise difficult or unfamiliar idea. Whoops. Here's another Buck video. Man, this is tricky. I'm sorry, guys. To keep watching, go back and forth.
All good.
So obviously, um, they took a very hard topic and kind of used different things. The use of type is incredible, but you know, there was kind of this like crystal that was kind of the view. I mean, it was just amazing, and they used different types of metaphor to talk about how difficult it is to talk. But you can tell even by the end, like things got brighter and calmer. Great video. Now I'm going to watch this next one that is not going to make me cry because it's definitely more. Okay, hold on. I have this up.
Also, the use of sound design and even the typography throughout conveyed the emotion. Dude, that video is so insanely good. Like, it makes
Yeah.
me ill.
The like the slow like bubbling up of the word emotion. I mean,
Dude.
I love that video because like metaphor and analogy can be tiring, I think, sometimes, but it doesn't always have to be.
Yeah.
So this next one won't make you cry unless Airbnb makes you sad. I kind of wanted just to show like a more of an explainer video. I think this is a lot more common
We
our
often
realm.
describe our hosts as superheroes. We realize you don't run around wearing capes. Actually, if you do, we wouldn't be that surprised. Because the hosts in this next category have proven their superpowers in incredible ways. In Paris, France, after the attacks last fall, hosts Etienne and Sylvie whisked their guests away to their country home to provide safety and peace amidst the terror. In Laverque, Utah, hosts Dawn and Cindy called 911 when their guest hadn't returned from a hike. They found him fallen 100 feet, severely injured, and quite literally saved his life. In Los Angeles, California, when a rogue fire claimed host Rebecca's garage on Thanksgiving morning, she did what any good host would do. She evacuated her guests, fought the fire off by herself, and instead of staying in the hospital with her burns, went back home to host Thanksgiving for her guests. Yes, these are truly extraordinary real-life heroes. We just happen to call them hosts.
Yeah, so basically these hosts are superheroes. I also loved, I mean, the transitions were beautiful, but even this scene where the phone cord became the line to which he pulled himself out, I just thought that was so wonderful. So yeah, so share my screen again. What a pain, Google, fix it. So again, 1,000 million trillion ways to tell a story using these rhetorical devices. There is this awesome website called Virtual Salt, and it actually like has just a ton of rhetorical devices, like Zeugma. I don't know what that is, but it stood out. I'm going to post this in the channel for now because I know you can't click it and we will need it later. But you can see, like, you know, if you ever kind of get stuck or you want as a goal to try something new, check this website out. So a zeugma includes several similar rhetorical devices, all involving a grammatically correct linkage or yoking together of two or more parts of speech by another part of speech. That's nuts. Pride, oppresses unity, hatred, love, cruelty, compassion. That might make a lot of sense to you, but it does not to me right now. Moving forward, great site. Strongly recommend checking that out. So, what to pitch? This idea sandwich, I think I've heard a cajillion times throughout many different popular, you know, incredibly talented freelance illustrators, but it's the idea sandwich method where you pitch a safe, perhaps a wild, and then something that's kind of the mix of both. It's important to never send something that you do not want to make or you do not know how to make. I think this is really important to us. I know I've gotten stuck in kind of drawing beats where it's just like, I don't want to make this. And it shows really in the end. So obviously the safe is probably something like you're selling a software. So the safety is, this is your software. That's the concept. You could pitch something wild, like let's pretend that the software is personified and it's living in, it's trying to stand out in a city of like boring softwares. I don't know, something that's like maybe a little more imaginative. It's probably a stretch to the client. But then the mix is something perhaps maybe something in between where it's still safe, it's not as wild. When I've done this, it's not, the client doesn't necessarily choose the wild, but I think it helps them choose something more along the lines of the mix, because in that case they can see the safe is probably what they wanted, but they can see like, oh, there are more exciting ways to tell this story. Also, check out that man. I looked up wild sandwich, wild meats, and that came up. I thought it was perfect. Okay.
Does that also mean the bread on the right is a raw meat bread sandwich? Is that what that means?
Correct.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure.
It's very healthy. So I wanted to do a little workshop. The first thing that came to my head, this is a fake company. It's called Big Plant, plant food. So the story is the client has come to you and they want to make a video because they have a new fertilizer that makes your plants 2 times bigger. Other company products burns your plant, but not ours. It's more expensive, but we guarantee it makes your plants 2 times bigger. So what I want everyone to do, including CDs, is I would love if you drew out 3 beats using a rhetorical concept. I know a lot of you are like, I don't draw. It does not matter whether you can draw or not to sell a concept. This is honestly one of my favorite things, is looking up storyboards from directors. This is Rian Johnson's storyboard for Knives Out. It may not I don't want to like, you know, it may not be technically the most beautiful artist rendition, but the point is there. You can see I should have added the final scene as context, but I forgot. Here is the Safdie Brothers Uncut Gems. Again, the point is made without incredible need of like, this is what the background looks like. I think there's a lot of pressure, especially on us, to like make full style storyboards when in reality you don't need much. This I could not find a bigger picture of. This is the Coen brothers. This actually has like, this is the director's shot. This is Todd Anderson kind of like taking the director's concepts, and you can see the final. The point is made without having technical skills in art. And then Taxi Driver, again, I wouldn't say this is bad art at all, but you could see. Which, fun story, I watched that on Wednesday for the first time. It's beautiful. It's like the OG Crazy Boy. Okay, so I just went ahead and made one. I chose personification hyperbole. This is the plant. It's being made fun of bigger flowers. He drinks big plant. Now he is a big plant. And those were original. So yeah, I would love everyone, and you don't have to share, but using the pitch, make a concept. 3 little drawings. I don't know when you want to meet back. 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we got time, right? Is this the end of it, Bitsy?
Yeah.
Yeah, then let's do 10 minutes. Come back at 7.